I'm as I've said before, I am getting increasingly older and more curmudgeonly as I like. This is a funny thing. I remember watching. I think the first Tommy Lee Jones thing I ever watched in my life
Well, they're curmudgeons right there. I see it. Got
was Batman Forever,
it.
which is not a good representation of
And
Tommy Lee
me.
Jones.
And me.
I love the lock, blind, stupid, do da lock.
The way his face is all
Yeah.
turned.
Um, Steve's is quite low. Steve's can hold on one second. Let me see.
Hey, when they go low, I go lower.
Okay, go ahead and talk for me, Steve's.
How does that sound? How do I sound
Yep, that's
now?
good now. That's good now.
Okay. Okay.
Um, I think I just have that low for I don't know, maybe because everyone else gets crazy loud, or maybe Amy's like super loud on the mic. But it
Be
should be
allowed.
good. That being said, and then I think the next Tommy Lee Jones thing I saw was U.S. Marshal, not The
Yes.
Fugitive, but
The
U.S.
sequel.
Marshal,
So the sequel before The
the
Fugitive.
sequel.
Okay. All right.
And then I think after that it was Volcano.
Yeah. Nice.
So I've had just like a really bad go at like learning about things. Like I've had such a backwards version of film school or family film
Hmm.
school, I guess. Um, but anyways, uh, as I get older, man, I just like Tommy Lee Jones characters more and more because I'm just like, yeah, fucking no nonsense. Like I was like, I don't care how many roads, bridges, hen houses you got to turn upside down. We got to find this man tonight.
Yeah.
Um,
That is one of my favorite Tommy Lee Jones characters. Is his fugitive U.S. Marshal character? That is a. I mean, he got the Oscar nomination for Fugitive. I don't remember if he won it for that or not, but he was nominated. Yes.
I mean, yeah. So, yeah, I think just in this weird osmosis, I'm just mirroring him. I'm just like, you know what? I'm gonna become this old,
I mean,
curmudgeonly, no nonsense. I won't stand for this tomfoolery.
yeah. Tomfoolery. Look what he did. Look what he did. He
Yeah.
did the thing, guys.
Um, but yeah, no, some things in life are becoming harder and harder to do. Um,
Mm,
not like old man, like I
not
can't get
me.
up, I can't
My
like
ankles.
my knees don't work, but more like
Yeah. Snap, crackle, pop. Ow.
it's more just like financial strains,
Oh yeah.
financial decisions need to be made, and that's a whole thing in life, and that's things. But anyways, let's bring up the mood a bit. And we started late, anyways. Steve's, what's been going on with you? What's new in your world? What's good in your life?
I'm now the father of a 12-year-old, so I officially have a preteen. Jackson turned 12 last week, and we had a little shindig at the quite famous Tony's Pizzeria in Lodi. It's one of the last it's the only old school pizzeria
Is
in
that where the
Lodi.
Fantastic Four went?
That's in Stockton. In
Oh, the better
Lodi.
city, the one
Anyway,
that Sons of Anarchy is based off of.
Sons of Anarchy are next to Lodi, in the
Oh,
made-up town of
Mayans.
charming
Oh,
Mayans or SoCal. They're near you.
why are the Mayans and the Suns a thing then? If they're like so far apart,
There's a NorCal Mayans and a SoCal Mayans. The Mayans MC was the SoCal Mayans. The ones in
is
Sons of Anarchy
MC
were
mean
the
main
North.
character?
Motorcycle Club, Tom. Motorcycle Club.
Oh.
Anyway, both shows do mention Lodi and Stockton, but whatever. Tony's Pizzeria is like an old school looking pizzeria from the 80s. It's like the wood paneling walls.
Like old spaghetti factory.
Old spaghetti factory. The corner booth is where you'd see the Sopranos meet up for a thing they got to do around the dock later. It's that type of place with an old school arcade. It's like stuck in the 80s, and we love it. And the pizza is phenomenal. The calzones gave us food comas and school and lunch, and we'd be sleeping in fifth and sixth period. Amazing food. But we had a party for him, had a little shindig. He is really big into Scooby Doo right now, and he likes collecting the encyclopedias of certain pop culture characters. Like The first books they got from me, the boys, were the Batman and Superman encyclopedia, where it breaks down the characters' origins, the villains, all that. It's the same company, and
It's
so
just it's just analog Wikipedia.
yes, exactly. And he's been like going to the library and getting them for Pokemon, getting them for whatever new characters he's learned about. He wants to get the encyclopedia, and he was trying to get stuff regarding Scooby Doo. So he got him like 2 encyclopedia books on the history of Scooby Doo, because this kid is watching both the newer cartoons, the
And the Hanna
movies.
Barbera.
He's watching the Hanna Barbera and like
You see some
glued to it.
Globetrotters.
This is when I found out that Matthew Lillard has continued voicing Shaggy well past the live action movies, because we're sitting down and he's watching the newer ones. And I'm like, that's Matthew Lillard's voice. And I looked up on me. He's been playing Shaggy ever since the live action films. Like, he's continued on. I'm like, I love that. Another reason I love Matthew Lillard. But yeah, it was a celebration of the oldest birthday. Watching Chief of War on Apple TV, which is phenomenal.
Have you shown him the Zombie Island movie? Scooby Doo Zombie Island.
I think he has seen it, because when Jackson finds a character he's into, he will go through every streaming service we have to find.
I told
everything.
you about this movie specifically because I think you were telling me that he was getting into Scooby Doo.
And he researches.
That is my favorite of all the Scooby Doo movies.
Okay, I'll confer. I'm pretty sure he did.
Feature film animation budget, and it actually is like, if you're a little too young, it might be a little scary.
Okay.
Like, the transformations are pretty cool.
Like, no joke, the last 3 days since his birthday party, he's watching the old episodes with his encyclopedia. And when the villain first gets introduced, he goes to the book. Aha! It's hilarious to watch. But yeah.
It sounds like, honestly, he might get really into like cryptids and once maybe I think he's 15 or 16, Supernatural maybe.
Oh, I think he would. Like some of that still scares him. If it's insects, he's not a fan. Temple of Doom, he had a hard time.
Bugs.
Bugs, he had a hard time.
I thought you said insects. I'm like, well, he's gonna have to learn about that at some point.
Not that. the insect trap in Temple of Doom, that was a little rough for him, but he got through it. What about the
scarab in the Mummy?
We had to stop the Mummy.
Oh, that was too far. It was too messed up.
That was a year ago. We might have to try it again. But when the scarab started going nuts stuff, yeah, he was done. He was like, nope. He walked away.
How about Honey, I Shrunk the Kids?
They've seen the first one
with the little ant.
Yeah, they felt sad. They were.
That was sad.
As they should. We all were sad.
Starship Troopers.
I can't show him Starship Troopers yet.
Why? Oh, there is boobies.
They're rated R, and yeah, there's movies in there.
I mean, when did you watch your first rated R?
I mean, I saw Basic Instinct when I was 10. That's a different story.
That's what I'm saying.
My cousins and I were all together, and the parents didn't know we had access to the VHS upstairs, and they rented Basic Instinct.
Men in Black?
No, but I want to show them Men in Black.
I was a giant bug.
Yeah, I know. We've been going through. They saw all Back to the Future. No bugs there. We're good.
Bug's Life.
They've seen Bug's Life and Ants. They've seen both.
I'm just trying to think what other. Ooh, no, you can't show them that one. Well, it's to me an underrated classic. Guillermo del Toro, Mimic.
Ooh.
Can't do that. Can't do that to them.
No,
can't do that to them.
I can't. But that's a good one.
That's too much.
You know what I remembered too is that after we went to Universal Studios, Tommy wanted to see.
Oh, that's when you saw me, right?
Yeah. Yep. I forget that I always stumble into that. We did the ride, and it's where they have Peter Jackson's King Kong on the tour, and he wants to see it. And I'm like, that bug scene in Peter Jackson's King Kong, that's a rough one. They're gonna have to wait on that one. Come on, Andy Serkis with the whole.
But I also I'm just thinking of other buggy things, like in the Skull Island King Kong, the spiders are like the bamboo shoot trees.
And they want to see the Godzilla and King Kong movies, and I'm like,
well, the first one's okay. It's a giant bug.
Yeah, Godzilla I think is fine. King Kong Skull Island.
Are they cool with Mothra?
I think so.
Okay.
The selling point with Kong Skull Island is that they'll be like, oh look, there's Avengers in this movie. Well, we're okay. They'll see Sam Jackson and they'll see Loki and they'll see Captain Marvel, but then the scary
You,
stuff will happen.
I'm saying you mentioned it, but Temple of Doom they can't do that, right?
They have seen it. They got through it, but that scene was tough. That was he was jittery and shaking. That this bugs over Indy's hand. They did laugh when Indy says we're going to die, the way he says it into the camera, but the insects were they got through it, but it was tough.
Okay. What have I done? You know what I did?
What'd you do, Tom?
I watched Craven the Hunter.
Oh, with the guy I thought was going to be the next James Bond, but I guess that wasn't an actual story that was legit.
I guess not. Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Yes.
Yeah. I watched that movie.
That was a movie.
You know, man, I see what they were trying to do, and I'm like, this wouldn't be a bad place to like set up a lot of villains because, yeah, why not? Why not just say a bunch of jungly monsters come from Craven the Hunter? Funny enough, he does no hunting, like none. He just like runs all the time and crashes in. He's got super strength. I don't know if you know this. I was just like,
yeah.
But why? That's not his thing. He's just like, I'm a good hunter. I should shoot you. Man is the greatest game ever played.
Watch me.
That's his whole thing. But then he's like, no, let's infuse him with the lion. And it's like, but why? But then like, the idea of like, they introduced the chameleon in there, and the rhino's stupid, but whatever. At least it's a giant rhino and not a stupid giant metal suit. But yeah, the Craven the Hunter, and like, I love this Russell Crowe era of him being kind of like,
Oh, he's side questing.
He's like, he doesn't need to be svelte. He doesn't need to be. He could just be a big boy and be kind of menacing. I don't know if you've seen the movie Unhinged.
Ooh, I haven't. I know of it, but I haven't seen it.
I watched it, and I've been wanting to watch it for such a long time. I watched it recently this year, and I'm like, this is so stupid. I love this movie. Just like, imagine a guy using it's literally, I think, like what conservative men dream to be, of like, one day you're gonna and then I'm gonna find you and I'm gonna ruin your life. I'm gonna take in you, but you're just a random woman. And it's like terrible. Like,
it's that, like, and they want to be Gerard Butler in Olympus Has Fallen. It's one or the other.
They want to be him. They don't want to be Gerard Butler from 300.
No, but Olympus Has Fallen is more like present day what they want to be. Like, oh, he's gonna go in there and take out the terrorists one by one, and he's America.
Okay. But I in the chat, Battery Print, Russell Crowe's having a bit of a fat Steven Seagal era, but he's still Russell Crowe, so he's still good.
Exactly, he's still good.
And this is the thing, but Russell Crowe doesn't say he could be a sheriff. He doesn't say he could light matches with a bullet, and he also doesn't like do exhibitions of martial arts where it's like clearly stacked in his favor.
I think Will Sasso has the most accurate presentation of Steven Seagal's martial arts. Just,
he tries to do as much as he can just by sitting down. Just
yes, and the guys go flying 5 feet.
Russell Crowe's just like, I'm going to be big boy, and I'm going to be a bad guy, and I'm going to have my hand here around my chest as I talk to you, and I'm going to say things like this, and I'm like, I'm more for this. I'm here for this.
It was Body of Lies where I learned that Russell Crowe can play a great asshole, because in that movie he's a fucking asshole. He's a CIA jerk in that movie. No problem, buddy. I got you, buddy.
What is this? I'm seeing in the chat here. Honey Bear watched Predator for the first time, and then saw Predator vs. Alien, as well as the animated movie. I haven't seen the animated movie. You prefer Predator over Alien, which is interesting because right now Alien's having quite a moment with Alien Earth, and Predator will have a moment with what's the new one, Badlands?
Yes.
So we'll see. I just like that. Yes. I like the Yautja, but also we'll see how they all collide. Anyways, we should talk about some news. We should answer some questions as we get into there. Steve's, take it away with some news, baby.
You got it. My news as if those of you who can see by my shirt, not the hat today, not the hat, the shirt, I got some
Jamie
horror
Lee Curtis
news.
in Freaky Friday, and she's lit the internet ablaze with
Well,
her half cut shirt.
I mean, that's always a happy moment. That just solidified why she remains on my list to this day.
It's
Permanent ink.
funny because it's like, hasn't
Permanent
anyone
ink.
been watching her for the last 30, 40 years?
She's never not
She's
been a
always
baddie.
been stacked.
She's always
And
been a baddie.
Chris, right, her husband.
Yes.
All due respect, I know you watch the
Yeah,
show.
of course. Of course. He knows. He
And
gets it.
and Jamie's daughter. All due
Yeah.
respect.
He get it.
Everyone's known that Jamie Lee Curtis has been a babe for a while. Some people just like aren't about it, and like that's totally fine. That's not for you. More for the people who love it. But it's also
Mhm.
just like, what do you mean, guys? What are you talking about? What are you
Hello?
guys talking about?
Hello. Even if we're not talking about Laurie Strode, Trading Places, True Lies. All I gotta say.
But also, oh, which one you say? The first one?
Trading Places with Dan
Yeah.
Aykroyd and Eddie Murphy. That was, as we learned in Scream, that was the first time. And True Lies would be the
But
dance.
also, what's the one where she's the aerobics instructor? With
Yeah,
John Travolta?
with Travolta. I always forget
Yeah.
the name of it.
Because I'm just like, Jesus criminy. But yeah,
It's Jamie.
trading
It's
trading
Jamie.
places if you wanna see them unleashed to the world.
Mm-hmm.
But even in the last Halloween, like, she's gotten older and they've just gotten bigger, and I'm just like, good for you, good for
Yeah.
you.
Permanent ink on my laminated list. Anyway,
But you don't have a tattoo of her, so that means something. Obviously, you're not a real
yet.
fan.
Not yet.
How's the wife
So,
gonna take that?
We're aware of each other's lists.
Okay.
She has Jason Momoa.
She's Jason Mimosa?
Actually, she likes Joe Manganiello more than Jason Momoa.
Dude, I am this close to him. I'm like two magic games away from him.
Make it happen. Anyway, so with my shirt, we're gonna be on. I got horror news for you. First, before I get to the shirt, first, there is a fantastic trailer out. Came out last week.
With Pedro Pascal and Vanessa Kirby.
Not this time. Not this time. Not this time. For
Fantastic
quite
Four.
No. For quite the original film that will be coming out later this year, and that is Good Boy. Good Boy. Let me just read IMDb's lovely little synopsis for you. A loyal dog moves to a rural family home with his owner Todd, only to discover supernatural forces lurking in the shadows. As dark entities threaten his human companion, the brave pup must fight to protect the one he loves most. That's right. This is a horror movie from the viewpoint of a dog, of a loyal dog. And that trailer was genius. They started with these like home videos of the dog and the owner getting the pup for the first time. So happy. And then it goes right to, you're at the house, the dog is sleeping on the ground, and there's like a knock, and the dog, and from there it's just, if you, yeah.
Is the dog CGI the entire movie?
Stop it. No. I mean, I don't know, but I don't believe so.
How will I care for it if it doesn't fly around?
But I was glued through the entire trailer because, first off, 2025 has been a stellar year for original horror films. Whether you really like them or just kind of like them, there have been 5 horror movies this year that have been both critically acclaimed and box office successes.
Night Swim.
From Sinners to Bring Her Back to
Found Destination Bloodlines.
Later. That was successful too, although it's a franchise, but I meant the original ones, the original stories. But Bring Her Back, Weapons,
Together.
These have all been together, have all been critically acclaimed and box office successes. Some grand successes like Sinners and 28 Years Later. Some who are great successes because they're modest budget. Companion.
It came out this year.
It did. You're right. It's been a great year for not just horror, but original horror. And it continues with this, where the dog is the main character. And I did learn that there were over, I believe, I lost the count, but there's a website that's called Does the Dog Die?
Mm-hmm.
And it's this website you go to where you find out if a dog dies in a film, then I Am Legend or what have you.
Is there one that says, is the dog ever not CGI?
No.
Okay.
Does the dog die?
Okay.
And
I just want to make sure.
from what I remember reading, the site almost crashed for how many people went there to see if this dog dies in the movie.
Go watch
And
the
the,
movie.
and the last time I checked, though, there are trolls, I think, because it was like yes and no, because they're fucking with people to not give them the right answer. But I am excited about this. It's such an original take. There's always been dogs or animals in horror films, but it's never been from their POV. We're getting an entire film that is this dog's point of view, and you know the dog's going to be whimpering. He's going to be sad. He doesn't know what the hell's going on. He sees things, he hears things, and I'm here for it. It's directed by
you know what I'm here for?
huh
I'm here for
real
a real
dog.
dog. I'm here for a real dog, real performance, real sets.
There he is.
No volume bullshit, no green screen. You know what I
Nope.
mean?
It's directed by Ben Leonberg, who, from what I can see, only has one credit to his name called Bears Discover Fire, and a short called The Fisherman's Wife. It is written by Alex Cannon and Ben Leonberg, and these I'm from what I'm seeing, these are relative unknowns. The other writer, Alex Cannon, wrote The F Word and was part of a TV series called All American Sex Offender. But
He wrote the F Word, or wrote for the F Word, because the F Word, I think, isn't that the Gordon Ramsay show?
Let me, as I bring up IMDb. No, it's a 7-minute short. My bad.
Oh, okay,
It's a
That's
7-minute short. So these guys are they're unknowns.
Speaking of just in light conversation horror films, right?
Yes.
One beloved Guillermo del Toro, right? Mimic, Pan's Labyrinth, and recently what they're doing Frankenstein, right?
Yes,
and you know what? You know what? It's great. I want real sets. I don't want digital. I don't want AI. I don't want simulation. I want old-fashioned craftsmanship. I want people painting, building, hammering, and plastering.
Great quote.
Crazy. Like
the
man.
The title to this update is it real?
Can the dog be real at all, or do we need it to be CGI the entire time?
What, I don't know. You're right. We Honey Bear, we do have The Conjuring, the final chapter in the Conjuring franchise, coming out next month. But it's just, as someone who always cheers horror because they don't require huge budgets and can be very successful, I'm happy with the great originality we've had this year from January to now, with so many great horror films that are doing so well. And Good Boy, I am hoping, is one of those, but it has me sold with that trailer and the concept. So Good Boy, which comes out October 3rd. Perfect timing. Right
My
now
birthday.
Your birthday. It says PG-13. So, but that doesn't always mean.
That means they're going to have one F-bomb, maybe.
One F-bomb. The dog will say it.
Yeah. Just like you haven't seen Weapons yet, have you?
No, I need to. The dog will say ruh-roh and then say fuck, and then there it is. My next story, sorry that I went off on a Good Boy horror movie tangent. The horror continues because your boy has just realized that he has found a reason to purchase a PS5. Finally, he has a reason to do it. I have found a reason.
Oh, I thought you said you bought it. I'm like, what?
No. I have found a reason to purchase a PS5 by this time next year, because it was announced last week, as I giggled like a giddy schoolgirl on my Instagram watching. They released a trailer for the upcoming video game from IllFonic and Gun Interactive, where they teamed up with Compass International Pictures and the Akkad family and John Carpenter for Halloween, the video game.
I don't know the music.
where you will have the option to either be someone trying to survive the wrath of Michael on that fateful Halloween night in 1978, or be the Shape himself and unleash chaos and murder on the town of Haddonfield, Illinois.
Can I be Dr. Loomis?
I don't. They have his voice in the trailer.
I've been telling you. Come here, Michael.
They have his voice in the trailer, an actor portraying him. I do think if they was allowed to choose Dr. Loomis, half of your time is you telling the sheriff how stupid it is that you're not listening to him. There's no fighting, no shooting. It's just
Someone
you
had to have
ranting
taught him
at
how to
the sheriff.
drive.
I met this 6-year-old boy with motionless face and the darkest eyes.
Can I be the older version of Daniel Harris from the Rob Zombie one, who's like babing it up?
Annie.
What a babe.
Danielle, there's another one. There's another one. But yes, I am amped. I am a video game fan. I played like crazy when I was a kid. I have not been active video game a gamer in years. I think I still only have 3 video games for my PS4: WWE 2K3, Batman Arkham Knight, and Call of Duty 3, Modern Warfare 3. That's all I have. And I saw this and I'm like, well, I think it's time to buy a PS5 because I want this game, and I may briefly become a gamer again just at the chance of being in Haddonfield in 1978.
Shout out to Brad in the chat, shouting out our Patreon. Nerds go join the Nerd On Nation, get Steve's a gaming PC, and we will have him be a killer in Dead by Daylight. And I'll get him Friday the 13th and Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and this Halloween game, also Retro Replay, the action platformer where you can play as Michael Myers. Also, I was starting to I've been rewatching some favorites of my. You remember this when we were working together, and I would watch Game Grumps in the lunchroom, and everyone would be watching over my shoulder. They played the Jurassic Park game, and that shit's a hard fucking game.
The Super Nintendo one?
I think so. It's like where it's like window to window to window. You have to like do this, you have to do that. I'll send you the playlist. Yeah. But they struggle with that game. They're like,
it's a tough game because you couldn't save. You couldn't save. You had to finish it.
So they played an emulation where you had save states. So like they could, because they're like, no way. He's like, how am I supposed to? Because they had tranks and like people were trying to shoot. It's like, how am I supposed to do this? Like how? And I was like, yeah, that's a ridiculous. Because it's built based off the cabinet of the arcade game, right?
You had to devote hours.
Yeah, that's
to beat
crazy.
That game.
Mm-hmm. No, that's like maybe days because you have to memorize whole sequences. And it's like what
memorize
like where
the ID cards are, what building they were in.
That is a broken game. That is a broke ass game. Anyways, okay, I gotta do my bit of news, and then we can go to some cool questions for y'all. My news: K-pop Demon Hunters came out to theaters. I talked about this last week. That this weekend that passed would have been anyone's chance to go watch it in theaters. Netflix doesn't like to report the numbers on weirdness, but like I think this was undoubtedly a success. It was only in Regal Cinemas, not even in AMC's. Regal and Cinemarks, and it overthrew Weapons in the box office. I think it got 18 million over the weekend. Weapons got 15, which is fine. I think Weapons has been out for like 2-3 weeks now, so it doesn't matter. Yeah. But yeah, K-pop Demon Hunters, and it's a sing-along version too. So grown ass people went with kids to listen and probably sing along. But yeah, it just shows.
My boys chose it on Netflix yesterday morning, the sing-along version.
Dude, I mean, I'm just kind of glad that people are about it. K-pop Demon, and people are like listening to K-pop now. It is the quote unquote Netflix effect. We've seen it done now, and it is where right now it's taking hold of people, which is great and cool. I am liking this. I think it's getting people possibly also interested in more Asian cinema. A24 has, I think, Neza 2, which is their first acquired foreign film. Yeah, it's an English dub of a Chinese epic story. That's it. And Honey Bear, I don't know if you want the details to Weapons right now, because we're in the middle of the update, but I can write it in a Discord. Or you could put it in a question in the chat, and then I will happily give you answer the question that you want in the no spoiler way. But I think that is at the point where we go to the second part of the show and answer questions from you, the people, the audience. If you want to send questions, you should send them over to nerdon.tv/discord. Or you can join our Nerd On Nation at nerdon.tv/Patreon. For as little as $1 a month, you get access to a hidden server or
Mm.
channels inside of our Discord, and you can
Mm-hmm.
ask us questions. You get some inside things. Some of the people in there have been privy to some of the life changes that's been going on in my life, and maybe not all change is good, but maybe all change is necessary.
Mm.
So it's been an interesting thing. But we're gonna go ahead and answer some questions today. Let's go ahead and ask the first question,
Pew pew.
um, which would be. Ooh, there's a lot of questions actually.
Ooh.
Um,
Like Jeopardy.
let's do this one from Bad Reprint. Do I want to do that one?
Sure.
Yeah, we'll do this one. This one's from today. There's one Brad asked a week ago, and that one's really good. And I think I want to put that for when we have more people. But
Okay.
looks like your fellow hosts have resorted to cannibalism. As a
Okay.
last request, how would you like to be prepared to enhance your natural flavor? Speeman.
Uh, grilled alongside linguiça and pineapple.
That's how you need. So you're just okay. Okay.
Brings out the flavor in me.
Okay.
It's the
So
Portuguese and
you're
the
like
love
a
for the
you're almost
Hawaiian.
like al pastor.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
For me, how is this? How is this? Uh, how would you like to be prepared and enhance your flavor? I mean, I think of this. Apparently, according to movies and media,
Mm-hmm.
um, although Honey Bear in the chat has a lot of great knowledge of forensic knowledge,
Ooh. Ooh. Okay.
and I bombarded them with a lot of questions during a stream one day. But in many media, they always say that um, humans are closely in terms of texture like pig.
Yes.
I
Correct.
don't know how true that is. I haven't tried. I haven't
I've
tried
always
eating in
heard that.
person.
I have heard that.
Um, so I think I would probably be best prepared like a pork roast
Mm.
or like a giant pig, like a hog.
Mm.
Like they
Mm-hmm.
do with those giant Islander styles, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
On a spit roast.
Yeah. We're on the same
And
path, I think.
you just glaze it up. And to
Yeah.
me, if you want to go crazy, you do some chicharron. You probably got to put some hot oil on the skin so it blisters
Mm.
up, makes it all
Mm.
crispy. I won't
Mm.
look like this no more, but
Nope.
the fat will like render out, and then the
It'll
meat
be
will be all juicy. This is like really morbid.
it's getting dark.
Yeah, but I'm just like, well, if humans are most like pig, then you want to prepare it like a pig. Then I'm
Yeah.
like, the best way to do it is probably like a barbecue pork, like
Yeah.
a on a pit fire. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I'm good with it. Yeah. When we having the luau? We good?
Like, well, it has to
Mm.
be after Halloween because we want
Yeah.
to make sure.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
before Halloween. Then all of Halloween you can enjoy the body. All
Let
during
me
October you can
celebrate
enjoy the
then.
body, and then it's like the Day of the Dead. Like, oh, thank you for feeding us, and it's like,
Ooh, that officially makes me a part of Halloween. Nice. I like that.
you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Down with that. Yeah. Trick or treat.
Yeah. Check. Yeah. Honey Bear in the
Happy
chat.
Samhain.
Check on me every hour. Yep. Check on it every hour. Just gotta make sure, and then
Mhm.
just put a little bit of
Mhm.
honey glaze,
Yep.
honey barbecue. All right. Next
Uh-huh.
question.
Whew.
Next question.
Next
Hmm. All right.
message.
This is a good one. This one comes from
Ooh.
Gamer Fuji.
Game
This
of
one comes
Fuji
from today.
today.
What is your favorite little known fact to share with others? If you don't have one, or the one you knew has since become common knowledge, what's something you want to know more in depth behind the scene details about? We can actually answer both questions, both
Mm-hmm.
parts of that. But what's one little known fact you like to share with others? And if there is something you want to know more in depth about, what is it?
I think everyone's well aware of my
If The
living
Rock was
room.
there, you'd blow him.
Different conversation.
Okay.
Uh,
Little known fact.
my my
Maybe
history
a
of
big known fact,
backyard.
depending how what you think.
You never know. My history of backyard wrestling, so everyone knows that already. So I'm gonna go with the other side. I was an extra background talent on both The Pursuit of Happiness with Will Smith and season 2, episode 12 of 13 Reasons Why. I don't think I've ever really ranted about that on here, more than my wrestling love. So yeah, I'm on in Pursuit of Happiness about 20 minutes in. I make it on screen when Will has the flashback of how he and his wife got those devices he's trying to
Hey,
sell.
you get his wife's name out your mouth.
Thandi Newton in this case, not Jada.
Hey, you get.
And he sees the hippies who stole the machine from him get on a bus, and he runs to the bus. He runs past me, and I, knowing fully well where the four-wheeler with the camera was able to act like, why is this guy running toward me, face on camera? So 20-something minutes into the film.
Were you bigger than him?
He's taller.
Could you take him?
He is taller. I don't know. This is 2005.
This is right after like I Am Legend.
Yeah, after I Am Legend and I, Robot and like Hitch. He was in great shape. So I'm like, no, I don't think I could have took him.
Yeah, with that attitude, you can never take him.
Well, not mid 2000s. Will I can he's still got that Mike Lowry vibe in him at that time, and I'm just saying.
Can you take him now?
Yeah, it depends. I don't know.
But not with that attitude.
And 13 Reasons Why, I'm just walking down the courthouse steps after they arrest Bryce.
Dallas
I'm walking
Howard.
down the steps. That's it. Not her. She's not in 13 Reasons Why.
Oh.
But I'm walking down the steps before the credits hit. Superstar.
Cut the check, baby. Cut the check. What is a little known fact? What was your favorite little known fact to share with others? My favorite little known fact to share with others. I'm trying to think.
He can sell the shit out of an RKO.
My favorite little known fact I like to share with others is that the Batman the Animated Series is the first season at least is all animated on black sheets of paper. It's so that the black is black and they're just coloring on black, and even then normal colors that aren't black have a darker hue to them. That's probably common knowledge now. What's another thing I like to share?
Oh, I forgot it was random. We could do random facts, but anything else too. I forgot about that.
Keep going. You just like to think about yourself. Of course you do.
Well, I'm the only child.
Way to go. Great scene partner. What is the thing I like to share that little known fact? A little known fact is that I mean, I guess this is kind of crazy. I like this one because it's not well known, and I'll do the Steve things about myself.
Yes.
First movie I worked on when I was in LA, I was a PA, and there's PAs, there's set PAs, there's office PAs, there's the runner PA, there is key PAs. Before you get to the second ADs and the second ADs and then the first AD, and one of the first things I got to do was like, they're like, hey, Tom, the coordinator was like, hey, Tom, you're going to do this. You're going to open up the table. You're going to have all these walkies. You're going to, issue them out to the crew members. Just make sure you list down what crew member and what department they're in, and then list down the number that they took so that we all have a count at the end of the day. I'm like, okay, cool. And we get to a guy, I go right down, and I'm like, I want this to be all nice, but like I can't keep up. I'm just like, just get the number, name, department. Who gives a shit? I'll be able to, I'll clean it up after.
You're Anne Hathaway in Devil Wears Prada. Just get the notes down and go. Just go.
Yeah. And I finally get to a gentleman, a black gentleman, and he's a big guy. He's got a little mustache, and I'm just like, hi, sir. Good morning. Here's your walkie. What's your name and department? He's like, Kershaw, and I was like, what's the department? It's like KPA. I was like, oh, okay. And then I was like, your name one more time. He's like, Kershaw Scott. I'm like, Kershaw? And he's like, Kershawn. And I was like, I never heard this name before in my life. So I was like, Krayshawn? He's like, Kershawn. I was like, you know what? Here you go. Just take the thing. I remember you. Later in the day, I'm like, hey, what do I got to do? I'm young and skinny and I don't know what to do. And the coordinator's like, hey, go to the KPA and then just work with him for the rest of the day. Just make sure he needs help. And I was like, cool. And then I end up finding out, I tell my friend who lives in Sacramento, who was a criminal justice major, I was like, yeah. I was like, I was working with this guy named Kershawn Scott. He's like, and my friend just looks at me like, we're talking through his, like, Skype at the time. He's like, Kershawn Scott in LA? I was like, yeah. I was like, is he black? I was like, yeah. I was like, and he's like, how does he look like? I was like, I don't know. Short. I was like, he's like, don't mess with that guy. I was like, why? He's like, he's a gangster. I was like, what? And he's like, he is one of the founding members of the 8 Tray Crips. And I ended up finding out that Kershawn Scott, the guy I worked with, was formerly known as Lil Monster. And
shit.
his bigger brother was named Monster. And I think there was a documentary about him. And then after the documentary, FX like offered him a job to work on Sons of Anarchy. And that's how I got on this production. And this production was like a loosely related Sons of Anarchy project. But yeah, the first KPA I ever worked with was Kershawn Scott. And you know, I just got to learn from him, and I was like, hey, how do I, you know, do better and make things better? And he's like, you work real hard. When you're not here, I miss you, man. And I was like, just look around. Like, he always trying to work hard. And he's like, you see how these people are like sitting around doing nothing? It's like, that doesn't happen on real sets. I'm like, I got you, man. I got you. He's like, maybe you could do background work. It's like, I don't want to fucking do background work. Background works.
Damn.
But I don't want to. I don't want to be in front of the camera.
Imagine the when you're having problems with his name. Imagine if this was like when he was Little Monster and you kept messing up his name.
If anyone wants to look, this up, this person, you can. You can literally Google Lil Monster Crips.
Almost got offed.
No, the cool thing is that like he would talk like during lunches he would talk about like meetings and taking over churches and like like territory stuff. But then at the end of the production, like him and I, like he came in with his daughter, we talked, it was a great time. And then he says like he was just like, Tom, when you're not around, I miss you because you work real hard. I was like, do I have street cred now?
You
I was like, am I safe?
He's got your back. He has a vest for you whenever you come back.
That was a cool thing I enjoyed about that. But nice. He was great to work with, and he was very professional. And to me, as some kid who's like I wouldn't know. I was just like, oh, he's just some guy, which was a really cool thing. Okay. Second part of the question: is there a thing? What is it? What's the second part of the question? What's something you want to know more in depth behind the scene details about? When is it not a CGI dog? Or is it always a CGI dog? What was the decision? What was the decision that, like, you know what, even in the walking scenes when it's
what side though?
We couldn't just get one dog ever.
No.
Too
expensive.
Have a real dog. Too expensive.
Too expensive.
What do I want to know? I would love to see just Weta workshop. I just want to see how they like render or previs a scene from start to finish. Like, it could be the Two Towers fight scenes, it could be Zacky Snacky stuff, whatever. Weta workshop and their insane CGI is pretty amazing. Yeah, I think they're great. They probably work in collaboration with ILM here and there, but in terms of like another option, like ILM or Weta, I'm like, I kind of like Weta, right now. But Avatar also does ILM, and I'm like, that's like tippity toppities. Mm-hmm. I had someone tell me that wanting to see good CGI was not a good enough reason to watch a movie, and I'm like, dude, we're in the time of these underbaked Play-Doh looking things nowadays. Like, don't tell me I can't watch Avatar because I just want to see, like, let me just see well rendered CGI.
See pretty things.
I was like, I want to see it. I want to see it.
Um, God, it used to be what I wanted to know was how WWE came up with their storylines and the production of Monday Night Raw and SmackDown, but they've done that now with WWE Unreal on Netflix, where you see how they come up with storylines and how they decide who gets a push and what goes into producing an entire night of Monday Night Raw. So that was already answered for me. I used to wonder how writers came up with certain
But
things,
kayfabe.
and then I got Masterclass, and I now know how writers come up with certain ideas and how they brainstorm and all that. So, what do I want to know? I don't know. Those were the two that I had lingering that I wanted to know that have been answered for me in the past like few years, and this year with Unreal. No, I don't have it, because that was the last thing. Seriously, the last thing was, how did pro wrestling organizations like WWE come
You don't
up
want
with
to know how
storylines?
they fix Bruce the Shark every once in a while? You
I know,
don't.
I know what I need to know about Bruce the Shark. Steven has already gone off on that.
You don't want to know
Um,
how many times, like what they needed to do to fix the waterlogged T-Rex.
I want to know, do they still have the full copy of Good Will Hunting that involved the CIA NSA part of it? Is that still available to find? Maybe that's what I want. That's what I want. I want the original version of Good Will Hunting that Ben and Matt had written, that had a whole second part that involved Ben the character Will, played by Matt Damon.
Smith? Oh,
Not that one. Will Hunting. He was going to actually take a career in the NSA and be disheartened by where he was. That was an actual portion of the script that was eventually cut out completely.
Gus was like
I
fucking stupid ass kids from Boston.
I want that version. I want that version. I mean,
Where he becomes
already heard,
he becomes a Born Identity.
basically, yeah. You know what? That's what it is. Put Born Identity at the end of Good Will Hunting, and there's the original Good Will Hunting screenplay. But I loved hearing about the unicorns that Ben and Matt are having come up with that screenplay, somehow getting Gus Van Sant on board, Robin Williams vouching for them, and them becoming unicorns, winning best screenplay Oscars in their fucking 20s, which never happens. So that cred that they'll always have to their dying day.
I started watching this YouTube channel called, I think it's called Bullets and Box Office, and they just do a bunch of like what could have beens. So it's like what could have been Hellboy 3, the original plans for Blade Trinity, or like the what was the Josh Trank version of the Fantastic Four, like, and like how that would move, like the original plans for Captain America 3 was not Civil War and all that stuff. Like, it's a good YouTube channel that like really just kind of focuses on the surface level stuff of like what we all know, but like it's presented in a way where it's like, yeah, you really see like the storytelling of like, God, fucking things suck. Things really suck.
I recently learned that the Event Horizon director's cut is vanished and wiped from the face of the earth. Like, that's unavailable, and I want that because it's supposed to be an hour. There's supposed to be like a whole another 40 minutes to that film that involved the hell that the ship went to, that was diabolically filmed. Or Jason Isaacs saying there's no way you'd film that today, and I'm like, where is this? Why can't we find it anywhere? Why has it disappeared?
I shouldn't say this, and apparently it's a little out of fashion for me to say this, and I shouldn't say this. I shouldn't recommend this because it is a little bit maybe not legal to do.
Everyone, listen up, everybody, listen.
But apparently, I mean, not apparently, and many people would agree, sometimes pirating is morally acceptable because it's about accessibility. It's about, I can't go buy all the things on whatever for $20,000 if they're gonna kill the fucking streamer. So I'm not going to.
You literally just became Mr. Swan at the end of Pirates of the Caribbean, where he says perhaps some cases piracy is a good thing. You literally just did it. You just said the line at the end of Pirates of the Caribbean. Look at you.
Bum bum ba-da-dum bum ba-da-dum bum ba-da-dum. But yeah, Yeah, and I will say that I watch anime in the way that most big companies don't want me to watch anime, but I'm just like, go fuck yourself. I am going to go find this.
Mm.
I have done this for. I used to
Mm.
watch so much YouTube and watch so much Naruto off YouTube. You can go fuck yourself. And it's a cultural point. Anyways, okay. Last question of the night. Last question
Last
night.
question.
You
Copy.
ready for this? I like this is a good one.
Okay,
We're a
good,
little
good,
movie nerdy kind of
good,
guys.
good. Yes, yes, we
What
are.
is one trope you dislike and one
Mm.
that you love seeing in media? CGI animals and dumb white main characters.
Just random. That was a random point of his.
No, it's across 3 franchises now. CGI character, CGI animal,
Mm.
dumb white guy.
Dumb white guy. Trope.
Rutro. Groot is not eagly, but might be need to be saved with the red cape. Every goddamn movie. That's the next challenge.
I think my trope is that they're always forced love interests.
That there always has to be a love interest storytelling. Yeah.
Like there's movies that male man and woman main characters when they always have to end up together.
Mhm.
And in some movies it's great. It works perfectly. I would never not think The Mummy that those two should not have had feelings. It was beautiful, fantastic. But there are films where I'm like this.
Well, they do a proper push pull,
Yeah,
or not even that
there
push
are
pull. I think it's like a pull. They're both
yeah,
hate each other. They want to be away.
correct, correct. There are just movies that force it when I'm like, you didn't need to throw in this love angle. The movie is fine without these two
From
having
you
to
don't
have these
think that
feelings for each
Natasha
other.
Romanoff should connect with the Hulk because she's a monster?
I mean, that didn't bother me. They never got together.
That was stupid. That was this dumbest fucking thing. I can't have babies, so I'm a monster. Hey, green fucker, you
Oh
can't
yeah,
control your
that
anger.
yeah.
We should be together. It's like, this is stupid. This is dumb. This is just some fucking loser
You
boy
you could
being
have
like,
you
I
could
should
have
date the hot girl too.
you could have had her situation without her thinking. She's a
No,
monster.
she had way better chemistry and connection with fucking Captain America, Steve Rogers, all fucking day. There was no reason for that. It's like, what the fuck
No,
are
no, no,
we
no.
doing?
I don't mean their love interest. I meant her being what they do to women assassins.
Mhm.
That part was fine. It didn't need to have the. That's why I connect with you because you're a mom. That yeah, you're right. That was yeah.
But
Um,
to your point, I do like the fact that her and Steve just were like very close friends.
yeah. They are really close man woman friends who are extremely open with each other because Steve is new to our present day and he only has a
But
few
they're
people
both
he's connected with.
soldiers.
Yeah, they are. They have connection there, and that was one where there's flirtation. They're flirtatious, but it never goes beyond that. It's just that's all they are. They're buddies. They're friends. Love that. Yes, perfect. Some movies force it, and I don't like it, and it takes me out. Even movies I have no examples now. I just know that element bugs me when it feels forced. Like it didn't need it. Didn't have to have it. Why'd you do that? Because you want to have a cool light poster and have it be romantic. No.
But for real, I think the real trope I don't like. Um,
Waiting for it.
I think I really don't need a dorky friend who knows more than the main character.
It gets overused.
I think I'm getting really over
I've
like
seen it a lot.
how everyone's dumb, but the one side character who knows everything, and then like is just I'm fun exposition drop, because like we've seen this before, and I'm like, I think the closest and the best version of it is probably Scream, because the movie in itself is a self parody
Mhm.
or satire, but I think it's just become too like part of the text that you need to have characters that do that, which I'm like, that's not good writing. That's just being lazy. That's
Mm-hmm.
just so I really don't like that. Think okay, now what's a trope that you do like uh
I just realized an example of one of the forced ones, like Miami Vice.
I didn't
Colin
watch it.
Farrell's Colin Farrell and the in between woman for the drug cartel they're going undercover with. It didn't sell for me. They became a thing too quick. It felt forced. Didn't fucking need it because the drug undercover action was perfect, and the movie gets slowed down by this forced romance between Colin Farrell's character and I forget her name, but what would have been a fantastic film became a lackluster film because an hour was wasted on their relationship. Tropes I like.
Tropes that we like. They fly now. Um Bad
Wait,
writing. I love bad writing.
what is what's that from again? I forgot.
That's Star Wars.
That's
They fly now. They fly now. Um what's a good trope that I do like? Um
Well,
uh
is this one the horror movie with the what you think is going to be a jump scare and ends up not being a jump scare and then gets you
Yeah,
off
that the
guard and
fake
then you
out, the
fall
fake
into it?
outs. I
I like
fucking
those.
hate the fake outs. I fucking hate those. Because to
Keeps you on
me,
edge.
in the theater, I'm like this. Oh, here it comes. And then I'm like, it's not gonna be this. It's gonna be the next one. And I'm like, cool, I'm done. Because it's always a.
See, I like when it's done a
And
few.
it's like, oh,
I like when it's done a few times, and then it finally gets. I like you being off guard, is what I like.
I'm just reading a little bit of the chat, Honey Bear. My favorite trope, my least favorite trope is the love triangles, especially when the main character doesn't need it or is very
Yeah,
arrow ace coded. T
yeah.
Dog's favorite trope is I like shitty movies with CGI dogs. Honey Bear, the trope is I like CGI dogs. Honey Bear, my favorite trope is final person, especially if they're smart. Yeah, Final Girls. I do like Final Girls.
Oh,
I don't
we
know.
love Final Girls.
Is
I am
is
pro
that a
Final Girls.
trope?
Because it tends to, there was the 80s where it was always a girl
Okay.
that survived at the end, and but yeah, the Final Girl. I am a
Oh,
supporter of Final Girl. I love Final Girls.
Oh, my favorite. I mean, I don't know if this is a trope, but like, I think my actual favorite trope is the inhuman thing or non-human thing is more human than humans.
Oh yeah,
Like
yep.
beasts, monsters, robots
I think that.
that have more than four lines and want a nickname. Um, but like, I love
For
like
example,
the Guillermo del Toro ification of it all, where it's just like the monsters are truly more dignified and sympathetic than humans are. Humans are truly monstrous, and I like that. I like that a lot.
I like that. I feel that.
All right, well, we're gonna roll this on over to the next show. Who that is, I don't know.
Oh,
But maybe it's probably Lisa Allen playing some Hollow Knight. We're gonna raid over to there. Thank you everybody for swinging around, staying with us. I know went a little bit late. My computer is melting as we speak.
melting
I need to
and
fix that and
melting.
figure that out. If you guys join the Patreon, little dollars a month, dollars a day, probably help me get some new pieces for this computer. But other than that, Steve's, thank you for co-hosting with me.
Hey man, you got it.
Um, Scooby Doo, Zombie Island
Yes.
for the kids. It's a good one. Also, hot babes that turn into monsters.
Sold.
But yes,
Sign
take
me
care,
up.
everybody. Check out our YouTube, check out our Discord for all new things. My schedule is going to be changing a little bit, so I don't know when I'll be streaming next. Maybe tomorrow night, later, for sure, because my Thursday is going to be a little weird from now on. But that's it. Take care. Y'all all know the drill. As always, nerd on.
Nerd on. Final Girls.